All right, Miss Andrea, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, good afternoon, Brooks and Davis. And again, thanks so much, Michael, for you guys inviting me to share a little information. And I know that you've probably heard similar presentations before, but I want to take you in a little bit of a different direction today because we want to talk about, especially as we are moving into Q4, how are we going to make 2026 a bigger and better year? And so we're going to be talking about today what we're calling resurrect and collect. So I just wanted to say hi, to be on camera, let you guys know it's a real person back here, but I distract myself when I look at myself on the camera. So I'm going to cut my camera off and then I'm going to just talk to you guys just by presenting. So I'm going to cut my camera off if I could figure out how to do it right now. I usually am pretty good at this. Well, that cut my mic off.
Oh, see that now you got to lay your camera on.
There you go. Got it. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, as I was saying, we're going to talk about resurrect and collect. So, again, my name is Andrea Filer. I'm the CEO of the Homebuyers Coaching Club. I am based out of Dallas. Met Michael at the NARAB Texas conference, and he and I got into a conversation that really led us to understand the synergy that we have between our two organizations. I have over 20 plus, and I'm not going to put any more numbers on it, but 20 plus years of experience in the real estate market. I am dual licensed as a real estate agent, so I do understand that side of the table. I'm also licensed as a residential mortgage loan officer, and previously I was a mortgage broker. I managed a real estate office at the most. I'm sorry, I managed a mortgage office, and at the most, we had about 18 loan officers. This was right before the crash, and I decided I'm done, not going to do it anymore. I can't take it. It was stressful beyond belief. And so I decided that I was going to get out of the mortgage side. So I decided I would go and get my real estate license because you know it's easier on the real estate side, right? Well, after doing real estate and being on that side, I realized that there are challenges on all sides, all the way around the real estate table. But I have kept my license because I wanted to make sure that I was able to understand the current trends, current challenges that happen on all sides of the transaction. But what kind of led me to start this was when I started my career, I was finding that I had to keep saying the same thing over and over to different people. And I had to figure out a way to collapse my time so that I could continue to make money. And I know that you guys are probably experiencing some of that as well. So, in the capacity that I'm acting as a coach for the borrowers, and I'm acting as an advocate for you as the agent so that I can help you collapse time to go out and do what it is that you do, which is to continue to make more money by increasing your pipeline so that we always have something coming up. So, the big question today is which denial reasons come up most often in your experience? And if someone wants to unmute and come in and just answer so that we can have a little dialogue, that would be great for our conversation.
I'll say something. When you
Awesome.
say denial, my name is Laverne Moore. When you say denial, we have a lot of buyers that say my credit score, I can't buy because my credit score is not good.
Okay, credit score. What else do you find people or even your partnering lenders are telling you is the reason that people are not able to get approval?
Student loans, DTI,
Oh, student loans, huge.
DTI.
Yep. And all of these are very, very common in the experiences that we all have, because again, they are common experiences that we have all across the board as real estate agents and lenders that are trying to build a pipeline so that we can turn, those into purchases and new homes. So one of the things that I want to talk about here is I want you guys to take a quick glance at the national statistics, because I want you to understand how these national statistics demonstrate the potential value of what we're calling the previously denied market. And I call them PDAs, previously denied applicants. As you look at the chart, you'll see that representing more than half of all prospective home buyers, these customers are just as eager to own their own home as those that are mortgage ready. And a denial strategy can basically help you create a long term growth pipeline. When you look at the total US, you'll see that there's about 46.9% of the total home buying population that's what we call mortgage ready. They are on their way. They are kind of almost where they need to be. But look at our potential. Over 53% of those who choose to purchase really are not ready. And the home ownership rate in the US, just for context, is about 65.2% as early as of early 2025. So don't know how the things that are going in the market are going to impact that, but right now we're still seeing consistent growth and activity in the home buying market, even with what's going on. So, by integrating a denial strategy into your business model, it's going to be good for your revenue stream. It's also good for our communities of color who have been disproportionately denied access to affordable and sustainable credit. And we all know and we all experience what's going on, as we were agreeing with the fact that credit score is one of the big reasons why. So while we've got a lot of major strides that have taken place in the past decade to help with this, we still have a long way to go, guys. Several recent reports have revealed that people of color are twice as likely to be denied a conventional mortgage than white applicants, even after controlling for a wide array of economic and social factors. So, for Black applicants, like we said, credit history issues were cited as 33.2% of denials. We're twice as likely. Debt to income ratio, as you also mentioned, were another top reason. DTI, like monthly debt relative to income, it's like 34%, and it remains so for Black borrowers at 33%. So studies also indicate incomplete applications, verification issues. These are disproportionately flagged for our Black and Asian applicants, highlighting, of course, procedural and systemic gaps in underwriting and support, rather than just the fact that raw based financial eligibility is not there. So when you are looking at mortgage ready, the majority of our competitors are relying heavily on what? Mortgage ready home buyers for their revenue. And of course, it's easy to see why. A mortgage ready client already has the credit, they already have the money, they already have the capacity to on hand to invest. So when a client comes to you with all of the boxes checked, it's real easy to turn a profit, right? But on the other hand, a buyer who has been denied a loan is generally perceived as a distraction. It's a distraction because they lack one or all of the assets that a mortgage ready client has. So, getting a previously denied home buyer mortgage ready requires a significant amount of work, and not all agents and lenders, to be honest, want to take on that challenge. So, when we talk about roadblocks, when your clients hit that roadblock, or when they come to you and they say that they have been denied or they have those issues that we talked about, what do you pull out of your bag of resources? Anybody want to share? Are you guys the well, get back with your realtor, and when you get your whatever credit score up, or when you get a little more money in the bank, give me a call. I'll be here ready and willing to help you move forward. Is that kind of your standard response? Anybody want to share?
We have a company that we use called Covenant Community Capital. They
Okay.
help they help with credit and budgeting and savings. So usually I would put them there to, until they can, get it together.
Awesome. Anybody else have a resource?
We actually have a couple of builders. I know D.R. Horton is one of them that works with clients to get them where they need to be with their credit score.
Okay, do they keep you in the loop, keep you top of mind with those buyers as they're going through the process?
They're supposed to, but at the same time, we just have to make sure that we keep in touch with them.
Well, let's talk about those mortgage denials and how everyone can have a resource right at their fingertips, because we don't want you guys to start shying away from the mortgage denials, because as you can see based on the statistics, they're a gold mine. Let's talk about emotional intelligence. And what emotional intelligence is just the capability of individuals to recognize their own emotions and those of others. And we want you to be able to discern between feelings and label them appropriately. So, using emotional information to guide thinking and behavior and manage or adjust emotions to adapt to environments or achieve one's goals. So, all of that simply says this: having emotional intelligence along with a structured plan and referral support, you can build a pipeline of prepared, credit ready buyers who will refer you to friends and family over and over again, because in you, for lack of a better way of saying it, they found a friend. Because you are going to be the person that says, I know how you feel, and I feel the same way. But what I found is a partner that's available to help you get prepared. They're going to walk with you, they're going to coach you, they're going to go hand in hand with us in making sure that you get to the goal, which is home ownership. This is why we call our program Resurrect and Collect. We want to resurrect the discouraged and collect those closings. Because being denied, guys, that doesn't deter customers wanting to pursue their dream. It just only delays it. And until they have a solid plan, or they've got someone to really walk with them, show interest in them, and agencies like Brooks and Davis who invest time in addressing the needs of these previously denied clients are tapping into a strategy that really helps to build consistent long-term growth. You are able to now forge a strong connection that your future homeowners or home buyers won't soon forget. Keeping the door open creates a channel for your agency's future growth that requires you to support your client's transition while also optimizing the probability of their approval for your own pipeline and for your own pipeline growth. So we talk about this under the terms of turning rejection into rebirth. So we're talking about here using denials as a platform to build deeper trust and long-term relationships. When you adopt a denial strategy, you have an opportunity to build this pipeline because, as we know, over 50% of the people that you meet are going to fall in, just from a statistical perspective, of the not ready. That means that by tapping into that side of the market, you can run laps around a more traditional approach. A strategy that is going to address the not ready, it kind of positions your lender partners and yourself to profit from a perpetual conversion of previously denied prospects into sustainable mortgage ready clients. So rather than treat them as a distraction from growth, the PDAs are a renewable source of fuel for growth moving toward 2026. NARAB identified, as we did on this call, credit history and debt to income ratio as two big reasons for denial more frequently for Black applicants. And as you're looking at the statistic on the screen, you can see what those are and how they affect us and our brown brothers and sisters. Both of these can be tied directly to the difficulty that people of color have in securing low rate or what we call subprime or even non-QM loans to begin with. Some of the credit scoring algorithms assume that a borrower to receive a loan is a greater credit risk. And because these loans are so inflated, they naturally knock a borrower's debt to income ratio off balance because the rates being so high. And now, with insurance rates having increased so much, that's also another factor based on neighborhoods and the undercover redlining that goes on in industries. Those are also affecting us being able to buy in certain areas. So, looking at our pain points and looking at the barriers that we experience, a lot of things are cultural in nature. So when we talk about the Hispanic and Latino community, most of the time it's credit, affordability, lack of access to the low down payment mortgages, maybe I-10 needing to be a factor, or more cash on hand as opposed to what's on deposit, fear of not qualifying, and then, of course, there is the language barrier. In the African American community, it's more saving for down payment. We're a close community and it's sometimes difficult to penetrate from the outside. And we have a natural distrust for financial institutions that go back in our history. And then we have lower financial literacy rates because, of course, as we all know, financial literacy is not something that's taught and passed down generationally in our community, but we are changing that game as it starts now with us. And then, of course, Asian and Pacific Islanders, they just have a real aversion to debt. They tend to pay mostly with cash. And it's really difficult to establish a credit score when you don't use credit. And then, of course, they have a high down payment preference for how they like to purchase because they don't like to stay in debt long term. So let's talk about a simple scenario. Imagine you have just been informed that a client from a client that their loan has been denied because they lack either the credit, the capital, or the capacity. They're a little bit down because they want to purchase a home and just don't know how to move forward. So, using the denial strategy, you're going to guide the buyer systematically along a path that prepares her to be mortgage ready rather than writing her off as a lost cause. So, when she's ready or he, they've established an allegiance to you. She's guaranteed to win. So, as I've shared with you, I've been coaching home buyers for over 20 years. And I saw very early on the gap that so many buyers fall into. When I first started in 2003, I used a manual process, but there were so many prospective buyers in need of training that I quickly realized the value of automating the process. And then in 2020, when COVID hit, that changed the game completely because the one on one in person classes and meetings and meetups kind of all went away. So, by really taking time to work with people, I found that on average, within 6 months, I was able to get a lot of these previously denied home buyers more informed, better prepared, and ready to receive and maintain a loan. So, when we're talking about you coming in contact with people, using your emotional intelligence to really empathize by putting yourself in their position and speaking to their feelings and giving them a systematic approach and place to go, this is what our strategy is all about. For your strategy to be effective, you've got to include insights into the changing housing market. For example, mortgage delinquency rose at a rate of 4.04% in Q1 of 2025. While data is critical, the challenges behind the data is really what is going to be key to us really making a difference. Emotional intelligence, as we talk about over and over again, that's going to be required to understand and serve our diverse markets. And then, of course, developing an awareness of the role that culture and generational differences play, because you're going to be surprised at seeing how these generational differences play into the new market of home buyers. So we have a very simple strategy framework. It's a step-by-step process that makes it very simple for you. And when you're talking to your client, we're just wanting you to have be critical in your thinking so that you're able to discern and extract the most important and relevant information that's going to help them move forward. A, we want to give you a pre-denial prevention strategy. Of course, it's educating borrowers on FICO and DTI and savings before applying. Step B is the denial moment. And that is where your emotional intelligence and how you respond is going to help soften that impact and create that allegiance to you because of your understanding and interest in helping them move forward. Your step C is giving them a recovery roadmap, which is giving them hope and giving them a path and giving them action steps. And all you're going to do through our program is offer them a timeline or months, up to 6. They're going to have the milestone tracking and the regular check ins that it takes to stay on track. Now comes the resource connector, and that's connecting with our coaches, connecting with lenders, and the lender can be your lender partner, giving them incentives to stay in the program. And then, of course, it's the post readiness pivot, which the client is then returned to you, mortgage ready. That's our simple strategy framework. So, as you're sitting here and you're thinking about how and who and what opportunities are available, where do you guys think your greatest opportunity for building homeownership power lies right now, outside of what we've just talked about as it relates to the previously denied applicants? Where are you seeing that greatest growth? Is it in the first time home buyers?
Renters.
What about seniors? Are you looking at purchasing or downsizing seniors? Have you tapped into the reverse purchase and reverse mortgage opportunities that exist for your buyers?
No, I'm coming
Of
to process.
course, our community is huge. Black and African American applicants, our application rates are growing tremendously as we are now really taking a hold of financial literacy and really understanding the benefits of home ownership and how to come together and do multi-generational purchasing to kind of set a launching pad for how we can help our families begin to grow legacies of home ownership. Or are you seeing it somewhere else totally?
In
This
renters.
is what the market looks like, guys. This is where you can really look at building a strategy. Market challenges, the changing market doesn't have to be intimidating for where we're trying to go and where we're trying to grow. Inventory rising, downsizing baby boomers are huge because by educating baby boomers about the possibilities of downsizing opens up an affordable new properties for our millennials. Our baby boomers purchased when their families were big, and now that those are probably gone and grown, nobody wants to manage these large 3,000 4-bedroom homes anymore with yards to take care of and landscaping and all of that. Most want to really look at downsizing and giving themselves the ability to travel. More boomers are retiring early and recognizing that life can begin now. So that's a great market to really look at a strategy focus for 2026. And we can help you with educating and understanding that market and what matters to them. Likewise, on the millennial side, millennials with home buyers coaching, we prepare them to become responsible and sustainable. Remember, where the baby boomers are coming out of this, the millennials are coming in. They're new families. They're looking for the larger homes. They're looking to have that opportunity to build equity. They're looking to grow. So this is where getting a boomer out and putting a millennial in, we're just being able to keep the market moving. And then with inventory rising as of mid 2025, it was up nearly 29%. Buyers are having a little more leverage, but homes are staying listed longer. And the concessions like rate buy downs and seller paid are coming back into the market more commonly than when we had that big boom in rising values several years back. So let's look at what your typical first time home buyer looks like. According to the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, This is what your typical buyer looks like. So you may see something different in your market, but this is just kind of what they say. Um, we all know that in our modern housing market, there's no such thing as typical. It's diverse, but we do know that most of the time we have this kind of in common as we're building a strategy. And that 87%, guys, of all buyers purchase through an agent. And the two most important factors that these buyers look for are honesty and trustworthiness. They want your help in understanding the process, because who puts more money out in the marketplace to advertise for customers? Realtors. Whose face is seen most of the time in the magazines and on the billboards and on the school programs and all the places that we're asked to contribute or to market? Realtors. So in the marketplace, the first time home buyer is looking to the realtor for information, direction, and guidance in the process. And again, going back to what we talk about is having critical thinking when you have that initial conversation to really get to know them and understand them and create a relationship, so that allegiance is going to be to you no matter where you refer them out to. And, of course, refer them to a partnership is what's going to be important. They want, and they reward the agents, of course, that are going to help them most by sending you referrals to friends, relatives, and neighbors. Generationally, this is what's happening in the market. Home ownership is skewing older, wealthier, and often already equity rich. That's your boomers, making the market much less accessible to those younger, less capitalized buyers. And not to mention, we're dealing with an investor market that's cash rich. But your millennials and your Gen Zs are still buying, but they're significantly affected by, what did we just say? Student loans.
Student loan.
They got a lot of debt load, and their affordability constrains them, and they have to lean more on cash gifts or down payment assistance. And I know you guys have experienced this. They've got to start making some compromises in their property expectations. Yeah, they make a lot of money, but yeah, they have heavy debt, especially student loan debt. And when you add that together, debt to income ratio is a little bit off for that 400, $500,000 home that they may feel that they should qualify for, but the numbers say something different. So with boomers dominating, younger generations are facing serious headwind, including inventory competition, high financing, and of course, rising prices. So we've got to start preparing them with this financial readiness that we offer and realistic expectations. Market rates right now hovering in the 6.5 range, and that's with down payment assistance, is really creating pressure on affordability when you throw in there those student loan debts that have to be factored in when you're looking at doing any kind of financing. We already talked about inventory being up like over 29%, homes being, staying on the market longer. And with the national median sales price, I don't know what it is in Houston, but the national median sales price was 435,300 as of June of 2025. So when you add mortgage rates, You have the higher median sales price. You have inventory rising. You've got it being more of a buyer's market. A lot of things are in our favor as it relates to making sure we're putting buyers into the market that are already aware of what's going on. So let's talk about what the Home Buyers Coaching Club offers and what we can do to help you build that kind of a pipeline. So we call one step activation. So when activation is dedicated coaching, psychologists say that counseling or accountability to something outside of yourself is the key factor to reaching goals. I don't know how many of you already have a personal or business coach, but let's talk about it from a losing weight perspective. How many people, and you don't have to answer, but how many people have attempted to lose weight and then decided to either join a gym or get a personal trainer? Personal trainer doesn't cook for you. They don't shop for you, and they don't lift area weight. But it's something about the accountability of having to go and meet with them either weekly or bi-weekly, and especially if you have to do a weigh-in, that keeps you staying on track because you don't want to go and disappoint or let that accountability partner down. That's one of the key things about our dedicated coaching. When your clients come into our program, they're going to get three things. They're going to get an assessment, which is basically a written, it's kind of like a home inspection on your buyer. It's a booklet that's about them. It gives them a picture of what they look like to a lender. When they go to a lender, the lender kind of tells them what they look like, but seeing it is very different because then it helps them put themselves in the position of a lender and say, if you had 200, 300,000, and this is what was presented to you as a profile, would you be comfortable loaning? What do we need to do to improve that profile? That's the action plan. Our expert coaches review, go over this information with them, help them write out a written action plan with milestones and goals, and the accountability of having that dedicated coach that works with them to be available to answer questions, to do budget spreadsheets, to work on credit improvement strategies, and to make course correction as necessary to make sure that they are on a realistic program or pathway to reaching their goals. Sometimes goals are set high for a reason, but we have to make sure that we stay in a place where people are able to experience small wins that keep them going forward. And then, of course, the education platform is built for them and it's built for you. Because imagine having a buyer come back to you that understands what contracts and negotiations are all about. What about a buyer that comes back to you and they understand what your real role is as a realtor and not the role that they think you're supposed to have? What about if they come back to you and they understand the process? They understand what the difference is between a home inspection and an appraisal. They understand, all of these nuances, and now you're able to go forward and have a smooth closing because a lot of those frustrating conversations are eliminated because as they are in the process of improving themselves following their action plan, they're able to take these online courses at their own pace. They can do it through our app, or they can do it through their online account. All of this is designed to, again, create for you educated and informed buyers that are able to take action to move toward home buying. The other thing about the platform is that it's not just for previously denied applicants. A lot of times, and I don't know how many of you have had this experience, but I have, your high scoring borrowers who know nothing about the process can actually become your most stressful, because even though they have a high score, they don't know anything about the process. And so they ask a lot of questions and kind of keep you stressed out. Let me just say that because we all know what that means. So let me give you guys some numbers of what the potential impact of just a real conservative approach to this program. Let's say that you refer 10 referrals per month into the program. And again, that is just simply people that reach out to you, which means now you've got more reason to get your name out more, advertise more, network more, make sure people know who you are more, so that you can start building your referral pipeline for making these referrals in so that our team can start getting them ready for you. So let's say over a year, that gets you up to about 120 referrals. So let's take a real conservative approach and let's say that only 30% of these applicants become mortgage ready home buyers. That means that you're going to have an additional, and I say additional because remember, if we're only looking at the PDA strategy, along with your mortgage ready strategy, these 36 buyers are in addition to the ones that are already coming to you that are ready to go. So this is your pipeline. Now you have 36 additional home buyers this year. So let's say that 60% of those mortgage ready are ready to get into homes right now. So they've gotten their stuff together, they're ready to get into homes. So that gives you 21 additional pre-approved applicants. Remember, some people it's going to take as little as 60 days. Some people it may take as long as 6 months, but we're talking about over a 12-month cycle in this example. Those 21 new buyers, if we use the national average of $435,300, is going to create an additional gross revenue or gross sales of 9.1 million for you. If you use the 3% commission rate, guys, that's an additional $274,000 that you could potentially earn over the next, and I'm going to say 12 to 24 months, because let's say some of the people that you put into the program may not come in until maybe the October, November time frame of next year. And so that means that they'll be coming out into your 2027 cycle. But 274,000 is 274,000, whether you get it in 26 or 27, or you spread it out. So I think that if this is not a strategy or something that you weren't looking at previously, I think those denied home buyers, we should begin looking at them as not a distraction and really start beginning to see their potential as a long-term growth strategy. And with doing that, that's why the Home Buyers Coaching Club exists. So if you are good there, what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you just a little bit of what the Home Buyers Coaching Club looks like so that you will have an inside view for your buyers.
We lost it.
She's probably pulling her stuff up.
On video, so everybody can see
All right, are you guys able to see my screen again?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. So when you go to homebuyerscoaching.com, this is what you will see on your front page. You're going to see home, membership, resources, and partners. That's the link that is going to be important to you. Contact and log in. It's just a real clean front page that just talks to your buyers about what one of their biggest financial decisions. It talks about introducing them to the club, the assessment, the action plan, and just a couple of reviews. So when they go here to the membership tab, it talks about us, who we are. It gives them an opportunity to see what the Home Buyers Coaching Club is all about. Talks about they can learn more right here. It's a quick little video. They can even book a discovery call, which allows them to speak to a coach and just really ask the questions they want to ask about the process, where they are, how this program may work in their favor, or any questions that they have. And then here's where they choose their membership plan, and it just talks about a little bit more about the program. These are the plans that we have available. There are three simple membership plans that are available. The foundations level, which is our basic plan for the borrower, is education only. It's just having access. And this is where I was speaking of your high credit score borrowers. You may refer them here to this program because as they're preparing, it gives them an opportunity to, at their own pace, in their own time, get the education that they need to understand this home buying process. It's $29 a month. They're able to stop once they finish the courses. They get the home education courses. They get an ability to earn up to $1,000 towards closing costs, and I'll share with you in a second how that works. And they also get the Moving Ahead Weekly Home Buying Tips newsletter. The blueprint level is $59 a month, and it's a little bit more. They still get everything in foundations, but they also get access to like an affordability advisor, which kind of helps them to play with that debt to income ratio on their own and understand how to manage it. Credit boost if they've got minor credit issues that need to be dealt with. This isn't major credit repair. This is just for minor things like high balances or disputes on credit that need to be removed, things that are going to be important as it relates to going to the lender. And then, of course, they have email and chat support with their coach. And then our premium program, which is the key holder level, that is $99 a month. And it's a 3-month minimum because, we don't, with 21 days to start a habit, we never get it right the first time. So we really need them to give us another 2 months to make sure that they stay on track, stay with the program. And if at the end of that 90 days, they're ready to fly on their own, they're able to do that. Or if they want to continue to engage the coach for longer, they have that option. But it's everything in the previous programs, the personalized assessment action plan, their dedicated personal coach. And in this program, they get 2 one-on-one calls a month, which help them stay accountable. And they're going to have assignments and things that they're going to be doing to get them into that position. These are the education courses. I think I showed you a little bit about them a minute ago. Understanding your credit, how lenders look at your credit, obtaining a mortgage, shopping for a home, the role of the realtor, managing your money, contracts and negotiations. And then, of course, our bonus is, are you ready to buy? These are the courses that they're actually going to be taking. So that's going to make it real easy for you. Now, this is something that we just added, and it is a personalized assessment for $97. So if they are not sure, they're ready to engage a coach, but they really do kind of want to look at themselves and see what they look like to a lender, we will do a personalized assessment, which is basically so they can get a clear picture of themselves. It gives them individualized data collection. We give them an analysis. We give them actionable insights to where they are, and then we give them a little bit of a roadmap of where they need to go if they're ready to move forward with getting a coach, or if they want to go more forward on their own. this is the the partner page, which is where you would go if you wanted to become an affiliate. It's free for you to sign up as an affiliate, meaning you're going to have your own unique identifying link. So when your referrals join the Homebuyers Coaching Club, they join with your link, which allows them to be connected to you. So me, my team, my coaches, we all know who to continue promoting as we have conversations and coaching sessions with these buyers. We'll continue to keep your name out front, as well as we know who to send them back to when it's time for them to, purchase or become mortgage ready. One of the things that our program does is that we offer an incentive, and this incentive has been very successful in keeping the buyers engaged and keeping them moving forward with the program. Every home education course completed, up to 5, we're asking our partnering agent and lender, and that lender can be your preferred lender or anybody that you prefer to work with. We'll get them on board with us as well. We want you to contribute $100 credit toward the buyer's closing costs. So if you have a partnering lender, that partnering lender would do 100, you would do 100. That would basically be $500 credit at closing on the CD, which is to the buyer $1,000 in value, which for some buyers that is a big deal. And it's a real reward for their hard work, their commitment, and being able to stay the course to be able to get the home. You would just click where it says join today, and really simply, you join and get your unique identifying link. It'll be emailed to you, and then all you have to do after that is just get out there and start sharing. So let me show you what your customers are going to see on the back end.
Good question.
What? Uh-huh.
You mentioned that the lender puts in $100 and it becomes what?
Yes, when you join as an affiliate, what we're asking is to incentivize your buyer to stay the course and get the education. We're asking that the affiliate agent contribute $100 per course, and the partnering lender also contribute $100 per course, and that would be $1,000 credit on the CD to that buyer, a $500 realtor credit and a $500 lender credit. And what I was saying is that whomever your preferred lender or your partner lender is, all you would have to do is just introduce them to us so that we could have a conversation explaining our program to them as well, and then get them on board. And then when they get the referral back to you, it'll also go back to your preferred lender for them to do the loan and you to do the contract. Make
So that
sense?
$100 is up front or at the end when they
No, that's on the CD at closing. So they don't get that unless they come back to you and purchase a home with you.
So that $100, are we paying it
Up front?
No, you're paying that on the CD at closing when they purchase a home through you and your partner lender, and that's going to be at closing. So it's no money out of your pocket. It's a paper credit, as I call it, on the CD. So you would just issue through your broker a $500 realtor credit on the CD at closing.
Thank you. And it is.
But think about it. This is a buyer that may or may not have been prepared, but because we got them ready, sent them back to you, and you were able to just take them straight through from our return to the closing table. Hey, that's worth it. And plus, it incentivizes them to make sure that they get the process done.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Hey,
You're
Andrea,
welcome.
I got a question.
Sure.
So with that, with the incentive, do you recommend that we only offer that to the people that are getting the top product, the $99 product?
No, we offer that incentive across the board because, as I was sharing, even if you have high credit score borrowers that are first time home buyers, yes, they may qualify, but they don't understand the process. They don't understand your role. They don't understand about contracts and negotiations. So, by offering them this incentive to go through the education, just think how much easier that is going to be when they start getting into the real nitty gritty of looking at homes and going through the mortgage process. They're going to be well educated and informed, and it's going to make it so much easier for you and your lender partner. And as an incentive for them to stay with you and not look anywhere else, especially if they're a high credit score borrower that could possibly be shopping. Nobody else is offering them that.
I got you. Thank you, Andrea.
Okay, so real quick, just to show once your borrower, your referral has logged in, they're going to come here and it's going to see their courses and
I,
their coaching. If they
I
are doing the
apologize. I got
coaching
one more
process,
question.
uh-huh.
Regarding the partner lender, are they aware of, like, do we make them aware of the program and that they're will be contributing 500 as well?
Yes. So what you would want to do, Charles, is that once you have a partner lender that you work with, and if you this is your preferred lender, you want to let them know, hey, I just got involved through my broker with the Home Buyers Coaching Club. It's an online membership platform where they take our previously denied applicants or even our first time home buyers and they educate and coach them through the process of becoming mortgage ready. They offer an education program where if the client goes through and completes all five of the education courses, the buyer can earn up to $1,000 at closing as a credit to help incentivize them to stay with the program. As my partnering lender, I'd like you to partner with me in this program and talk to our, I want to introduce you to the Home Buyers Coaching Club so that you can see how it can benefit you, how our partnership will work, and what your participation level would be in the program with me together. And then I will talk to them and answer all their questions because more than likely they are going to have other customers that need to go through the same type of process that they can refer to you that may come to them directly with no realtor. That's kind of what I found in some of the relationships that have been created. Make sense, Charles?
Yes. So in other words, altogether, you're not a lender. You're just the educator.
Correct. I am licensed as a realtor, licensed as a lender, but in this capacity, I'm acting as a coach for the borrower and an advocate for you to help get your client back to you and to the closing table.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, what you're seeing on the screen now is I'll go back. It's once they come into this is their dashboard. So if they are in key holders and they have personalized coaching, they would click on that. They would come in here and they would see the 6 sessions. Remember, 3 months, 2 sessions a month. So the first session that they would do would be the goal setting and financial foundation. And it just talks about what's going to happen in that session. And as we go through, we click it off. They go in here, they schedule their session. Everything is online. This is based on my availability for my calendar with my team. So as they are completing, excuse me, completing sessions, they'll go into, say, the budgeting and credit. Same thing. It talks about exactly what topics we're going to be covering, what the activities are. They may have resources in here. This is their spending plan exercise that they're going to need to complete before our session. These are the notes as I'm talking to them and as we're on the call because we are on a Zoom like face-to-face call. They're able to put in my notes. They're able to put in their notes so that they can go back and look at their notes if they need to refresh themselves. And again, they can schedule their session. We do the documentation and application process where we actually look at their bank statements and we find those NSFs, we find those large deposits, and we kind of help them understand what gift means, down payment assistance means, what kind of paperwork is going to be required, why the lender asks so many questions, why the student loan process is what it is, just everything that is related to that. We talk about house hunting, we talk about making an offer and closing. And again, this is just educating them and answering their questions as it relates to what it's going to be to help to make your job easier once they get to that point. We do a monthly mastermind call on the third Thursday, and it is a cooperative call for everyone that's a part of the Home Buyers Coaching Club, where we hear from industry experts on different topics, depending on what topic is that month. This is where they can get that quick discovery call with me in between their scheduled call. If they have a question, if something has come up, if they uh, found out some information. And this is where their actual classes begin. So let's say they're going to be doing the obtaining a mortgage. They would open up their class, and then this is what their I passed my test, guys. I got my certificate, but this is what their actual dashboard looks like. And then as they are completing, you'll see they'll get a congratulations, you completed the course. They'll also get to download the certificate once they have completed the course, which means going through the videos, taking the little quiz, passing it with 75%. Because we're not just giving money away. We want to give this incentive to people who truly want to take advantage of the opportunity, and it has made your job easier. That's the whole goal. They will present these certificates to you and your lender partner. That's how you know. They may not do but two classes. That's only $200. If they do all five, that's 500. So it's for the certificates that they provide you based on the educational courses that they actually completed. So here's just a quick example. I hope you are able to see it. And I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just want you to see.
One of mortgage basics and loan options. This lesson will focus on what is a mortgage and understanding how home loans work. We are going to break down mortgages for you, clearly and simply, so you're confident in making the right move when buying your home. So, what exactly is a mortgage? At its heart, a mortgage is a loan specifically designed to.
So as you can see, it's just a quick video, but also down here is the actual information. Because as my daughter told me, who is a high school teacher, people don't read anymore. So everything has to be video related in order for them to be able to, I guess, understand it. Back in my day, we had to read. That was just a requirement. And so if we go back to their homepage, it just shows you all of the information, the mortgage basics, and this is just in this particular lesson. So each lesson has its own library, it has its own courses. Here's just to show you what managing your money, documentation, and budgeting looks like. And if we go over here to talk about gathering essential documentation,
Welcome to the Documentation and Budgeting course. Now that you're ready to purchase a home for yourself and your family, it's important to educate yourself on the necessary documents, as well as budgeting. Your purchase should be as smooth as possible, but it can also feel overwhelming. This course is here to simplify the process and give you the tools you need to confidently prepare for homeownership. Over the next few lessons, we'll walk through everything from gathering essential documents to building a solid budget and help you avoid common mistakes that could delay or derail your mortgage approval. And don't worry, we'll keep things clear, practical, and focused on you. Let's kick things off with Module 1, Gathering Essential Documentation. When you apply for a mortgage, lenders want to know one key thing.
And it just goes on like that. And you can see it's gathering essential documentations, creating the budget, preparing for financial success, and then also managing your cash flow. So all of this information is available to them. And like I said, they are able to download our app, Homebuyers Coaching Club, on the App Store as well as on Apple. And they are able to access these courses on the app so they can do them from anywhere, at work, on their lunch break, depending on whether or not they're a shift worker, because we find a lot of that here in our area because people work graveyard. So it's hard for them to actually attend, a specific or fixed time course. And even our monthly coaching group mastermind call is recorded so that they are able to go back and listen to that call at whatever time they need to. And so, of course, here's the contact us page if they have any questions. And then there's always the opportunity to book that 15-minute discovery call with us to get any questions answered that are personal to their situation. And that is the Home Buyers Coaching Club, guys. Again, we are here to act as a coach for your buyers, as well as an advocate for you to make sure that those buyers that you refer to us are able to get the information that they need to take action. And we just know that a lot of times people get discouraged because most of the time, and we have to be honest, they're told, oh, once you get your credit together and you get some more money in the bank and you get everything ready, then just give me a call, come back, and hey, I'll be right here. But they don't have the tools, or they don't really have the pathway that's clearly outlined for them in order to get where they need to be. So that's the gap that we're hoping to fill. And we're hoping that you guys all consider becoming an affiliate partner with us. And let's build this thing together so we can help your clients make the right moves. So if you have any additional questions, I'll be here to take and answer them. Otherwise, I will turn the call back over to Michael and your leadership team. And I'll be looking to see you guys online.
I have a quick question.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. So to become an affiliate, do we or can we become an affiliate before we have a client to just get
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so we'll have an idea, I guess, what we're signing up for when we do have a client.
Right. That's what I just showed you. What
Okay.
happens with your client on the back end so that you can see what it looks like on the back end. But you can
Okay.
always go to the website, homebuyerscoaching.com. You see the membership platforms, you see the education courses, everything that they're going to have available to them. And I kind of gave you a picture of what their courses look like by video. When you go to the partner link, what you're doing is that you're signing up as an affiliate so that you can get your unique identifying link. So that when you're referring people, instead of referring them to homebuyercoaching.com, you will just text them or email them your link. That way, when they sign up, I will know on the back end that they belong to you and they didn't come from social media or they didn't come from another agent that's a part of the program. It's to make sure that our team knows that's your client so we can make sure your name stays out front and we keep you informed of where they are in the process so that we can work as a team to get them right back to you, which is our goal.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Where,
And
where to
again,
sign up? Where to sign up again?
you go to homebuyerscoaching.com, and up at the top, you'll see where it says partners. And when you click on partners, you'll see where it says log in, and it says join. So you just click there. And then when you come back, you can click on that login button, because you're going to set up, your own password login. That's where you'll be able to see what's going on in your back office. It's kind of like it gets you to your back office of your referred clients. All right, Brooks and Davis, I hope you guys enjoyed lunch, and I hope this was informative. I hope to build a solid partnership with you guys. So, Michael, I'll turn it back over to you for anything that you need from me forward.
No, absolutely, Andrea. Yeah, no, we really appreciate not only the food, yeah, the tacos were amazing. So thank you so much for sending that to us all the way from D Town.
I smell them.
But the information was amazing as well. I've been kind of sitting on this for a while because I just hadn't had the time to really educate the team on it. But me and Andrea, we met, some time ago, and she explained everything, and I was sold. I have our, Brooks Davis signature. We have our personal link already, so we're going to be working with them. I think I told you this, Andrea. We got close to 500 people already in our pipeline, and it's just a matter of kind of making them aware and being able to use this as a tool to help get them to the next level. So appreciate
And
all
one
that you did. I know it was a lot of work creating this and getting this in place. So yeah, absolutely looking forward to continued partnership.
And one thing to remember, guys, is that Michael said a really big number, the 500 number. Remember, because it's an online platform and people are taking themselves through the platform, except for those who choose the dedicated the dedicated coaching portion, we are able to handle the capacity. So I want you guys to feel confident that if all 500 of those people come through, we got you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Shay, you can close us out.
Bye. Good to meet you guys.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank
Thank you all
you.
for joining. Y'all have a great week.
Hi, thank you.